The International Women's Air and Space Museum presents History for People with Short Attention Spans. Today's lesson, Clara Livingston. Clara Livingston was born in the U.S. in 1900. When Clara was only 5, her father, a retired New York physician, moved the family 2,000 miles across the globe to Puerto Rico, where he bought a coconut and citrus plantation. While living in Puerto Rico, her father took her to an air circus performed by traveling barnstormers in 1911, and it was there, at age 11, she vowed, "Someday I will fly too." She was forced to delay her plans to fly when in 1925 she inherited the thriving family plantation. Finally, in 1930, she was off to Long Island to take flying lessons. Clara became the 200th licensed woman pilot in the world. She celebrated in 1931 by purchasing her first plane, a rear-wing Ken Royce biplane, which she promptly flew from New York, 1,600 miles to Puerto Rico. She became friends with Amelia Earhart, and in 1937, Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, accepted an invitation to take a night's rest at the plantation on their round-the-world journey. Clara was one of the last of their friends to see the pair. When Pearl Harbor was attacked, she was taking an instructor's exam in Cleveland, Ohio. She started for home in Puerto Rico, only to have her plane commandeered in Miami. After selling her plane to the U.S. Army, she returned to Cleveland to become a flight instructor for the War Training Service. Since women were unable to fly in the war, she spent her time training pilots for the Army. While in Cleveland in 1941, she became a charter member of the Civil Air Patrol and would often fly its grueling search and courier missions after a full day of training Army pilots. She received a commendation for flying in nearly zero visibility to locate a sinking barge on Lake Erie. After her service for the war, she returned to Puerto Rico, where she ran a flying school in San Juan and Dorado from 1947 to 1953. In 1951, she became a member of the Whirly Girls as the 11th woman in the world to hold a helicopter's license. She also brought the Civil Air Patrol to her island home and became the wing commander of the Puerto Rican branch for 16 years, from 1956 to her retirement from the CAP in 1972. In 1975, at the age of 75, she stopped flying. She resided on the remaining 18 acres of the family's plantation until 1984. With all her accomplishments, she still said the best thing to her credit was when she gave 30 acres of land to 20 families who worked on her farm. In 1992, Clara Livingston died at the age of 92. To find out more about Clara Livingston and other women in air and space, visit www.awasm.org. Thank you for watching. The end.